If you've ever thought about starting an Ironman, or you're struggling to progress on your Ironman, or just not having fun, then this video is for you. And boys, this isn't gonna be like any other old school RuneScape video you have ever watched before. I'm talking educational, entertaining, big vibes. I'm about to make this a motherfucking movie. As a main account, everything was about GP. And as an Ironman, well, it doesn't really matter as much, and I love it. On my main account, all I really did was focus on efficient gameplay, doing high GP per hour methods or XP methods, and then teleporting back here where I had access to every item in the game. Which can be fun and is a really good way to learn the game mechanics, but as an Ironman, RuneScape feels a lot more like an actual game rather than playing efficiency-scape. Now, I told you guys this video is going to be educational, and what I mean by that is that I've been learning an absolute ton of information about this game and how to apply all of my main account mechanics and game knowledge to make my life 10 times easier as an Ironman. That is what I'm going to talk about. One of the first big differences between a main account and playing an Ironman is getting around the map in the early game. It is not a good time. You are walking all of the time. So my first goal with the account was to get a dueling ring. But what I didn't realize is that the games necklace is actually even more OP for an Ironman because it's easier to get. It's a lower crafting level requirement, and I didn't realize the Minecraft network was such a OP method of getting around Corinth. Like, I never used this on my main ever, and I use it on the Ironman all the time, man. So my first account goals were crafting and magic levels. But even before doing magic and crafting, on a main account, everyone knows that protection prayers are easily the most OP thing in old school RuneScape. For your viewing pleasure, I have just set up a timer. We're going to see how long it takes me to go from 17 prayer to 43. If you get protection prayers, you can do pretty much any quest content in the game, and questing is very key for progressing your account. So the first thing I did while I was level 3 was go to the boneyard and run big bones to the chaos altar for 4 hours. And even if you wanted to start a hardcore Ironman, I would suggest doing this to start your account and just keep resetting accounts until you get an account that survives this method, because then you just have protection prayers and you're so chilling forever. It's so good. So since then, questing has been easy breezy, cover girl, something like that. I don't know. So the last main problem as an early game Ironman coming from a main account is going to be learning how to make money. Also, what you use money for on an Ironman is completely different. It's way better, to be honest. You don't need as much. You basically, in the early game, we're going to need to pay for things like runes. We're probably going to want to get our construction up to level 50. That's what I did, so you can get a house portal, then you can get a south graveyard teleport so that you can have a close fairy ring teleport. I'm going to list you guys out some of my favorite money makers that I have been using as an Ironman so far. These are probably not the best ones. They're just kind of stuff that I enjoy doing and that work for me, you know? So enjoy. What's cool about a lot of these moneymakers like this one is that you get to go to areas of the game that I've never been before. So the first thing that we are making money on here is battle staff drops from these ghosts at the Isle of Souls. Next, we got thieving in the ham hideout for jewelry. Now, this is also a great little moneymaker. This is a place I've never thieved before. I know it's kind of like an iconic OG place. At least the main room, maybe not so much. This little back thieving room where the real money is to be made. And then you're gonna sell the jewelry at Jewelry Shop in Brimhaven. Next, we got Guardians of the Rift, and I really enjoyed using this minigame as a moneymaker, but also just to get my rune crafting levels up so I can unlock the law runes, and then I can make them anytime I want so that I always will be able to teleport around the map anytime I want. And at the same time, you're making pretty good money, and you can sell the runes if you really need some GP, and you get other drops as well. Like, I got a dragon spear, which was pretty cool. It was my first dragon weapon on this account, so I think it was pretty rare drop to get. Pretty cool. I ended up elking it. I probably shouldn't have because it was iconic, but I was really down bad for GP once, and I was like, frig it. I don't need this anymore once I got my dragon skimmy. Now, my favorite moneymaker so far is Skurious. Skurious is, I feel like I'm butchering that, but anyways, it's so good, man. It's just fun. It's really good at, like, melee and range and magic XP, and it's a really good way to practice the mechanics as a low-level Iron Man. Like, you're gonna want to be able to one-tick prayer flick. It's easily the most important skill, and I'll go into depth on some of the mechanics that you're going to want to understand as a low-level Iron Man, but just know that Skurious is just like really good practice for like end game content and just doing content that is above your gear level. It's just good practice, and it's a good moneymaker, and you get prayer pots from it, which I freaking hate farming, bro. I hate farming. I'm trying to make prayer pots any other way besides farming the herbs myself. Next, we got Pyramid Agility. Now, you've probably seen this from a lot of Deadman modes, etc. I don't know. I didn't really like it. It was kind of boring. You just fall a lot at low agility levels, so it's just kind of frustrating. But it's just easy raw cash. Next, we got a really cool one I found from a clanmate, and that is collecting these wines in the new Varlamore section of the map. You're gonna want to go here. You hop worlds, and then you can sell them at this shop, and the price that you sell them for never decreases, which is so OP for an Iron Man, for Ultimate Iron Man, if their inventory's kind of opened up. But yeah, it's really nice. Now, my other favorite moneymaker that I've been using a lot is LMS rune arrows. Now, I've been practicing just how to PK, and so I can continue to practice PKing on this Iron Man, and it also be beneficial to my account. So I've accumulated some LMS points. I first got my rune pouch, and now I am getting rune arrows so that I can just kind of high elk as I'm running around the map. It gets me magic XP. It gets me more GP than I would spend on nature runes if I have to buy them. So you're making GP, you're making magic XP wherever you go in the game. It's really nice when you're just questing, doing anything, because there's still going to be parts where you're walking a lot without stamina pots, and so at least when you're walking, you can be high elking, and it just gives you something to do and progress your account. But now let's talk about mechanics, and specifically let's talk about one-tick prayer flicking. It is easily the most useful tool to a low-level Iron Man, and being able to do any quest in the game, you're not going to be using your prayer pots ever. You're going to be able to extend your Slayer trips, and it's so useful. So if you haven't learned how to do this on your main account before you start an Iron Man, I highly recommend figuring out how to do this. It's pretty easy. Now, obviously, if you're really good, you can do a lot of content in the game while never losing a prayer point. Settled is an extreme example of this. He did the fight cave, and I'm sure other people have too, where they completed a fire cave with just a single prayer pod. That's just kind of insane to me. I'm not that good. I basically just kind of use it. If I have to click around the screen, then I'll go back to flicking the prayer orb, and I've been practicing not losing prayer points a lot at this while I do Skurious. Again, and while I'm doing that, I'm gaining XP and making money. And that's pretty much it for mechanics. I think just one-tick prayer flicking is like the main one that's really good to know. I mean, obviously understanding movement really well is always going to be helpful, but one-tick prayer flicking is easily the most important mechanic to know for a low-level Iron Man, even ahead of knowing your gear switches and movement. To be honest, though, I'm still really early into my Iron Man experience, but I absolutely love it. I think the main difference for me is that as a main account, everything you do can be measured by GP. And so it always kind of had this influence on what activities I chose to do. But as an Iron Man, GP doesn't really matter. All that matters is accomplishing whatever little goal I have, whether it be a specific item, a skill level, or quest. And so I get to go out and just explore the world of Gielinor in order to achieve that goal. Which has led me to like some cool areas of the games and interact with shops and NPCs that I've never never noticed before on my main account. As a main account, there were also times where I've just gotten bored of the game, and so far on an Ironman, I just haven't. Things take a long time, but it's fun and it feels good. But as I said, I'm still early into the game, so I guess only time will tell if it stays that way as I adventure into the mid and late game. Good luck, gamers. Stay happy, healthy. I'm out. Peace. This movie that I think you like.